Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Shad. And this is another episode of the Zoot Report, Sunroof Edition, Deploy Knife Hands. Let's go. Oh, man. Oh, interesting day here. It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday. Congratulations, you survived the week. The weekend is now yours. Well, I still got a Survivor commute. Yep, a commute. And I gotta survive this fucking heat wave slash bad air quality. I mean, extreme, unhealthy, hazardous conditions. Working in hazardous conditions. Man. What was our AIQ? Air Quality Index. I think it was at 280 something. Very unhealthy. Yesterday it was in the 300s. No, 400s. Today they say it's 286. But it feels like 600. Breathing outside is like smoking a fucking cigar. And not I'm talking about like the cheap cigar. The cheap ass cigar you get at the fucking convenience store. The Hobby Lobby store. Oh yeah, it's a Cuban. Yeah, right. It's a fucking shit cigar. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Operating in hazardous conditions. You know, usually PPE is involved. I did see some people wearing N95s. That's probably wise. Probably very wise. But you should only wear it for like 20 minutes. That's it. After that you might as well be. It's worse for you because now you're breathing your own carbon dioxide. So yeah, it's a very hazardous day. It's been a very hazardous 2 days. It's supposed to calm down. Yeah, today it's 91 degrees now in Cleveland. It's fucking hot. It's actually cooled down. 91 degrees. I know, right? We're like, yeah, 91 degrees. Yeah, it feels great. Yeah, working in hazardous conditions, man. It's been my life, my whole life. Damn. Everything I've ever done has been hazardous. Why? And, you know, you folks that work, that do work in hazardous conditions, you got to have the PPE, you got to have the safety protocols. You know, there's a lot to it, right? You can take your time and, you know, relax, be smart when you react, when you move, when you act. Some things, there's a right way to do things, and then there's a wrong way to do things, right? Sometimes it's unavoidable. And you know what? Jobs are notorious for that. Bosses, corporations, and banks, corporations, plants, and factories, they're notorious for putting their people in harm's way and not even caring about it. That was worse back in the day. There were no safety precautions. And if you know, it was the kind of thing of, well, you're fired. If you fall off the ladder, you're fired before you hit the ground. You know, that's And people, I mean, I'm likened to that picture. It's an iconic picture of when they were building the Empire State Building. With like 9 guys sitting on an I-beam, suspended by a crane, having their lunch, drinking whiskey. I mean, really, that picture. There's somebody drinking whiskey in there. I mean, it's a trope. I know, but most Mexicans, they drink. They drink and work. They drink and drive. They, we used to do the same thing. And there's some of you out there that still do. I remember a job that all I did was just get stoned. There was a few jobs like that. I was a painter. Man, I was a cut man, so I needed a steady hand. And, we would have safety briefs, safety meetings out in the van, all us potheads, and this was decades ago. And then after our little safety meeting, boom, we go ahead and literally paint the straightest line you ever seen in your life. Smooth, flowing. I mean, it was great. Another one was doing pest control. Like I said, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I turned to pot. I really did. It helped me a lot. Pot helped me a lot. It really did. It got me out of my. It got me to acclimate to civilian life a lot better. So I gotta say, there was a lot of jobs. I remember another job. This wasn't high school. No, I just got out of high school, but I was 17, and I was a paver, right? I was working with asphalt, and it was hot, super hot, and half our pay was a quart of bush. You could have either bush or bush. No, it was all bush. Yeah, the boss only bought bush. But it was ice cold, and you had to drink. It came out of your pay. It came right out of your paycheck, like $5. Like fuck. But man, after 100-something degree weather and extra like 150 degrees on top of that, it really tasted fucking good. So, you know what? I was like, okay, yes sir. I'll drink with you. There was a time when it was a little different, right? Yeah, sure, people got hurt, people got killed. I mean, nobody knows how many bodies are buried at the Hoover Dam in the concrete because they just fall, and they just, we're not getting you. That's impossible. I mean, they were pouring millions of gallons of concrete. So you fell in there. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, they died. They died when they hit the concrete. And then they didn't die. They were told like, hey, just drown yourself in the concrete. Try to get it over with. Coal miners used to die by the thousands. Before, during, and after the whole thing called Black Lung. And the corporations, the coal mining companies didn't care. They were like, well, I mean, you signed up for this. You know the risk. They didn't tell anybody. oh yeah, you're gonna die probably, a year or two after this. It's something called black lung. And no, we don't have any safety protocols. We have a canary. Yeah, if we hit a gas pocket in there, make sure your canary in the cage is still alive. If it's dead, you need to run. Y'all need to get out of there. But only after your work is done. No. But seriously, wars were fought over that. I mean, literally wars. The coal miner wars. Oh my God. The government actually got involved in quelling this revolt. The people were, the employees were like, "What the fuck, man? We're dying." And not only that, when they die, it was the whole thing. They would build a village, a small town, complete with store and everything, that was owned by the company, owned by the corporation. You lived there, you worked there, you bought your food there, your family was housed there, right? And that all came out of your paycheck, by the way. I owe my soul to the company store. But 16 tons, what do you get? A little bit older and a little in debt. St. Peter, don't you go. St. Peter, don't you stay, because I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Right? Y'all know that song. Well, that's how it was. And if you died, your family got evicted. They didn't get a paycheck. They kept all your money. They maybe, just maybe, they would have gave your wife the last paycheck. Now, here you go, minus all the deductions. Like, holy fuck. It's pretty rough. Maybe. If they were feeling good about it. They were feeling generous. Which most of the time they weren't. They were not. So yeah, this is inspired by this hazardous living conditions we're in right now. I mean, Cleveland's not even the worst. I mean, Michigan's getting. I mean, you can't even see. It's crazy. They had to shut down the Detroit airport. Their AQI is like 600-700. I mean, you can't see in front of your face. You can't see your hand in front of your face. You see my hand? I mean, look at the sky right now. Look at the sky. I can see the sun in the morning. And right now, I can look directly at it. And so, your job, some jobs, I have heard some jobs say, hey, yeah, just stay home. Don't even get out. I mean, because being exposed to, this kind of unhealthy, hazardous air, unhealthy and hazardous for like 10 to 20 minutes is enough to create problems. And yeah, everybody I know that I'm working with, we all worked. Nobody called off. I think we had 2 call-offs today, which is, I'm glad, because before all this, before the fire, we had like 5-6 call-offs, whatever. But everybody just kind of sucks it up and goes to work. Like, fuck it, let's go to work. I mean, I guess it's okay if you're inside, indoors, and you've got air conditioning, you've got good air. But stepping out for any moment of time, I have to step out to smoke cigarettes, and it's like smoking a fucking cigar. I can't breathe. I'm like, holy shit, this is bad. My throat's all sore. My sinuses are like just drying out, running at the same time. It's kind of weird. I'm sneezing all the damn time. My eyes are burning. It is weird. But we do this. We do this, right? We brave the elements. We brave the hazardous areas, the hazardous inclement weathers, because we know that it's just got to be done. It just has to be done. It'll be fine. This is fine. Right? I love that trope with the dog sitting at the table. Everything in his house is on fire. This is fine, really. But, you know, you think about some of the jobs out there. I mean, you gotta have earplugs. You gotta have safety hats. You gotta have safety vest. You know, protective safety vest. You gotta have gloves. One job I worked at, I spent most of my time in a gas mask. I had to shave my face constantly just to get a good seal. It's either that or wear Vaseline in my beard. I wasn't willing to do that. Although I hear Vaseline is pretty good for your beard. I don't know. You know, it also takes everybody looking out for each other. You okay? You need to go somewhere, you know? Do you need AC? You know, we do that anyway, right? You know, especially in the summer. Looking at everybody going, hey, you know, drinking water, are you feeling dizzy? Looking for glazed over eyes, looking for slurred speech, looking for, you know, what do you call it? Where you walk funny, you walk like you're sideways, or you walk with a gait because you're dizzy as fuck. A wide gait, like you're riding a horse. You know, these little telltale signs, right? And we don't see men and women, I guess, especially in the workplace. You know, we're built to endure. We will endure the hardships. And when anybody asks, "Oh yeah, I'm okay." No, you're not. No, you are not. No, you're not. And you know it. But we lie to ourselves. I mean, I know, I do the same thing. You know, it's just the way we're wired. It's the way we're wired. It's like, you know, fuck it. I got a broken leg. Let's go. Let's keep going. I'll be fine. We got shit to do. Right? Military, same thing, right? It's all about mission accomplishment first. That's the priority. Mission accomplishment. And then true welfare afterwards. And, you know, you could say the same thing about jobs, workplace. I mean, some are better than others, right? They have a rating. Some jobs, there is no real, you know, hazards, if you will. Here, living in Northeast Ohio, I mean, it's the weather. It's the fucking weather. You got to weigh the options. You're like, well, you know, there is ice on the road. They haven't came through with the fucking ice trucks and the plow trucks yet. So maybe I should not come to work today, or maybe I should come in late. You know, risk getting that demerit. Oh, I got the demerit. Oh no. This is going on your permanent record. Hey, you know, shit happens, right? You know, we do what we can. We try to keep our word, right? Word is bond, especially at work. That's why we do what we do, right? And we got to feed everybody. Millions are depending on me to go to work. Not to mention your family, your friends, you know, your dog, your cat, your goldfish. That's why you left. I know. Shout out to the Army kids. Your mama was home when you left. You left. I can't say it properly. Your mama was home when you left. You left. Your father was home when you left. You left. Your girlfriend, your dog, your cat, your goldfish was home when you left. You left. And that's why you left. You left. Right? That's why we walk out every day, out that door, so we can go to work, put ourselves in harm's way. Just for a paycheck. Just for a promotion. Just to, put some food on the table, keep a roof over our heads. But we have to understand when it's too hazardous to do it, right? Mitigation of risk. Some risk is, some risk is acceptable. While, high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward. It's got to be got to weigh the options. Am I confident in my abilities to do this task even though it's high risk? And what are the rewards, right? Maximum effort, minimum gain. Minimum effort, maximum gain. I mean, sometimes you just got to throw caution to the wind. It's usually in the fighting aspect, but even then, it's being safe, being confident in your abilities, having the proper training, right? But ultimately, it comes down to the heart, will, and drive, the fight intelligence. Fight intellect. This is all aspects, right? Like, okay, I'm going to absorb some of this damage. This is kind of inevitable, but I can mitigate that risk by blocking and moving. You look at I'm going to go back to 1776. Our forefathers knew the risk. The risk was certain death. And some died. Some actually died. Yet they did it anyway. I mean, they were fighting insurmountable odds. I mean, really. It would be like, I don't know, it would be like we live in Venezuela and the United States attacks and we fought them off successfully. I mean, that's exactly what happened. There was a lot of people here, a lot of land. We had the home team advantage, right? British, man, oh my God, the Crown, they had so much resources that they could just throw at everything. Money, bodies, logistics, a ton of logistics, metric tons of logistics, shipping, all kinds of stuff. We had some poor farmers with muskets. We had some rich people too. Yeah. Not like the Crown. And eventually the Crown was like, no, we can't do this. They're going to wear us down. At some point, the Empire, the Crown was like, this is going to be too costly. And we're going to spend everything quelling this revolt, so fuck it, let's come to terms. Fine, we'll sign your little, we'll acknowledge your little Declaration of Independence for now, which allowed us to get just stronger. So what we are today. There was a lot of risk involved. Not only did could they field massive amount of troops, artillery, naval ships, all kinds of stuff. Build massive forts, garrison massive amount of troops in there. You know, they can do all these things, but they couldn't break the will, the spirit of the people. And eventually it just became too hazardous for them to stay here. Even when they came back in 1814. Chased them right out of here. Mitigation of risk. I mean, we did the same thing, but at some point in time, it was just like, fuck it, let's go. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, even though they could do an orthodox war, right, the crown, they could also do unorthodox. They had a robust network of spies and saboteurs, infiltrators, you know, undercover. They had all that shit, man. And you know, it actually happened, and some of the revolutionary cells were busted. We talked about that before. They kept it decentralized. So, you know, and they had assassins. They would assassinate. They would imprison people. You know, they would catch you. Can I get in here and get some gas? I don't know. Maybe. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Oh, come on. Yeah, got it. Nailed it, governor. Cool. Actually, you know what? I like the other one. Yeah. I like this one. My side. Yep. I keep forgetting the gas is on my side. Anyway. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. This little video. The Zoot report. Be safe out there. If you're caught up in this this smoke, limit your exposure. And we'll talk later on tonight for Lackluster Fridays. Skulls, deploy knife hands.